Visage. Sanjay K Chadha, you are a constitutional expert, lawyer in this. The Supreme Court did not even entertain the review petition. Is there any legal way this can be taken forward, or is it just a political football being played?
Ankit, two things which are very, very crucial here. One, we have to understand what is this limit and from where this limit has come. Indra Sawhney judgment in the way back in 1991, it has come, wherein Supreme Court, our own Supreme Court has said that we are giving you a limit of 50%. The reservation cannot exceed more than 50%. Thereafter, the court, in a later judgment, which is also relevant here, EWS judgment, last year only it has come, where the court has itself said that EWS community as a separate 10% reservation will be given to them. So this is what is the upper limit given by the 7-bench judgment. So we can't, change it. That is the law of the land. Now comes what is the alternative? How state of Tamil Nadu is giving 68%. Now there is a procedure. Procedure is this, that in case a state assembly passes a law which basically changes this limit, which is above the limit which is given by the Supreme Court, it has to refer this law to the central government for president for the assent, and then only they can have the benefit of Article 31P, which gives it a immunity from the challenge.
Okay.
Which, in no court such law can be challenged. The law will be placed in the 9th schedule. So there is a need of passing of law from state government.
Yes.
Then this law has to come to the central government, and then only the entire process of can be completed.
Shaina NC, just let me pick this up and take this to you. I mean, there is a process which the lawyer has explained. The assembly has to pass a law. It has to be sent to the center. You have the majority. In Raj Thackeray, to the opposition leaders, NCP, Sharad Pawar, Uddhav Thackeray, the Congress party, all have extended support, ladies and gentlemen, to, in fact, these agitating protesters. And this has now turned into a big headache as far as the government is concerned. But before we go into what can happen, let's just very quickly step back and take a look at the history, the impact of this on the politics of Maharashtra. So first, let me take you back into recent history on what has happened. Maratha leader Manoj Jarange has renewed the demand for separate quota for community in jobs and higher education institutions. The agitators had staged a hunger strike in Jalna village since Tuesday. The trouble began when the police tried to shift Jarange to a hospital on doctors' advice. Now, the Maratha Kranti Morcha, MKM, the umbrella body of various Maratha groups championing the reservation right for the community, they started their mobilization in 2016-2017 when MKM protests against the rape and killing of a 15-year-old girl in Kopradi village in Ahmednagar district became the trigger to its quota stir. In its first phase of the agitation, 58 silent rallies were taken out across the state, which saw huge mobilization of the people from villages coming to the towns. This was largely peaceful. But the second phase of the agitation of MKM in 2017-18 was marked with bloodshed and spate of suicides, which completely sent shockwaves to the government in the state at that point of time. Now, this became a major challenge for then Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis, who was leading the BJP Shiv Sena, undivided Shiv Sena coalition. Fadnavis' government decided to extend the quota to Marathas. The Maharashtra SEBC Act was accordingly enacted in November 2018 by the State Legislative Council, Assembly and the Council. While the Bombay High Court upheld the Maratha Reservation Law, it asked the state government to reduce the quota from 16%. Eventually, the quota was settled at 12% in education and 13% in jobs for the Marathas. Now came the big twist. The Supreme Court in May 2021 quashed the Maratha reservation given by the Maharashtra government led by Devendra Fadnavis in 2018. The top court also refused to review a petition in April this year declaring Maharashtra law that granted reservation to Marathas was unconstitutional. The 5-judge constitution bench in 2021 held the Maratha community was not socially and educationally backward, a criteria for reservation. The then MVA government had constituted a high-level panel headed by senior Congress leader and ex-Chief Minister Ashok Chavan and roped in legal expert, but the fight was in vain. Now, are the Marathas, because that's the big question that people keep asking, keep debating, are the Marathas, they are the dominant caste in Maharashtra, really so needy? Are they marginalized? The Marathas, ladies and gentlemen, are roughly 33% of Maharashtra's total population. 11 of state's 20 chief ministers have been Marathas, including first Chief Minister Yashwant Rao Chavan and the present Chief Minister Eknath Shinde. Numerically, they have an impact on 200 assembly constituencies out of 288 in Maharashtra, impact in more than 30 Lok Sabha seats out of 48. The majority community, the Marathas have always been a majority community in the state cabinets. They are quite influential when it comes to educational institutions, sugar factories, so and forth. So the question is that the timing of this in the run-up to the 2024 elections, that makes it quite troublesome for the ruling alliance. Let me very quickly, how bigger a headache is this and what is the way forward, introduce my guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go across at this moment. In fact, joining me on the broadcast, Madhu Yakshi Gaur, former Deputy Chief Whip and MP Lok Sabha, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Shaina NC, spokesperson of the BJP, Sanjay K Chadha, constitutional expert, advocate of Supreme Court, is also with us. And we have Virendra Pawar. He is from the Maratha Kranti Morcha, which is spearheading this entire agitation. Thank you so much for taking the time out. I welcome all of you on the broadcast. Mr. Pawar, I want to start with you, sir. What is the way forward? You are asking for this reservation. I heard that your people from your morcha are asking for resignation of Devendra Fadnavis. The government says it's not our mistake. Have you forgotten that it was Devendra Fadnavis who actually implemented this Maratha quota?
Well, this is the politics which is going on for the last 40-50 years in Maharashtra regarding Maratha reservation. 1994, we went to Mr. Sharad Pawar, who was the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, to tell them that Maratha should be added in the list of the beneficiaries of the Mandal Commission, and Maratha should be given the reservation rights in education and I think we are just asked for two types of reservations in jobs and in education. We have denied the political reservation that time itself. But from then, there has been a football on every election of the Maratha community. In 2014, we got the reservation when Mr. Narendra Brani, he did a continuous survey of 14-15 months. But that survey ended up in just an ordinance, and the act was remained to be made, and the government collapsed. Right. 2019 again, Mr. Fadnavis came to the power. 14 he came to the power, and in the end of 2018 we got the reservation. And you can see the results in 2019 when out of the 48 constituencies of Lok Sabha, 43 were won by these people. Now what is happening today? They lost the Maharashtra state. The BJP Shiv Sena alliance could not continue. They lost the election. And that was the revenge taken, which is the feeling of the Maratha community. That it was a revenge taken by the central government, and we were denied the election, denied the reservation in the Supreme Court with the help of the central government. This was the allegation of our people.
Let me get Saina Enshi to respond to that. Saina Enshi, you heard, in fact, what the activists are saying. They feel that it is a revenge being taken because the government and the central government did not, in fact, put their position forward in an effective manner in the Supreme Court. The resentment is such, not only they are asking for resignation of Mr. Fadnavis, but in Baramati today, the Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar's constituency, there are people, those who are asking him to resign from the government.
Firstly, Ankit, please go back in time. This agitation is something that we all stand by the Maratha community with. We all, as a government, as the Maharashtra government, have held subcommittee meetings. There has been consideration of Harish Salve as a legal expert to ensure that since the matter is sub judice, we should reinstate and ensure that the Marathas get reservation. Now, if you look at the entire sequence of events, go back to 2014 when Prithviraj Chavan was the then Chief Minister, cut to 2015 when Devendra Fadnavis came in as Chief Minister, and the fact that the constitutional provisions not being there, despite that, we agitated, we took this issue to the courts, we got implementation. In 2017, you know that the Gaikwad Committee report came into being, and it was the Honorable Supreme Court that thought otherwise. Firstly, we apologize for what has happened in Jalna. This requires courage of conviction to say that a protest needs to be dealt with in totality, with the absolute sensitivity that is required. And in this particular case, the lathi charge is something that the Home Minister and Deputy Chief Minister has apologized for.
Okay.
If the government is looking into the issue, if the government
hold on, Mr. Pawar, hold on. Let us speak, sir. Let us speak.
The government is looking into the issue, has sought legal experts like Harish Salve to come in, and as our Chief Minister Eknath Shinde ji has said himself, that we are standing by our initial plea that the Maratha community must get reservation. Constitutional provision aside, we are looking at how this can be an exceptional case to ensure that all stakeholders are taken into cognizance and that we stand by the political will that was shown from 2015 up until we were in power. If at all when Mr. Uddhav Thackeray was there, you should probably question what
I'll come to you, but let me get in Madhu Gaur Yakshi on this as well. The Congress party, sir, it seems the tables have turned. Till the time the Supreme Court had struck down this entire reservation, at that time, point of time, you were in the firing range or in the attack. The BJP was in the attack mode, saying that the Shiv Sena government at that point of time, led by Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, did not present the government's view forward and favorably in the Supreme Court. Now, you are giving the BJP a taste of their own medicine. Tables have turned, isn't it?
If the BJP and the current government at the state and center, if they're sincere enough, if they're concerned for the people of Marathas in Maharashtra, they have a power to amend it and get it done. Narendra Modi ji has introduced this economic EBC quota above the 50% limit, and center has a power to get into the Schedule 9, put it in Schedule 9, and increase some states like Tamil Nadu, over 68% quota is implemented. The current government is just playing with emotions of the Maratha people, cheating and deceiving them. If they're sincere, I heard the Chief Minister on your channel just now, and if he's sincere enough, and Fadnavis has criticized, as I said it, they criticized the Congress-led government at the time. And if they're sincere enough to concern the people's concern of Maratha, they could they can get it amended and get it done. So they're just playing politics here and playing with the people's life, just shedding tears and criticizing charts doesn't help. Solve the problem. You are in power, state and center. Please resolve it.
But there was a time when you were also in power, sir. This problem has sort of become a hot potato, political
potato. We were in power in state, but not at the center.
I agree.
As a lawyer, I'm telling you, the center government should involve. And
let me get in a legal perspective on this. And before I do that, can I just pull that pie chart that we were showing to our viewers as far as the quota is concerned in Maharashtra, basis on which the Supreme Court had decided to, in fact, had decided to go across and put aside this quota. Let's just try and put it on this screen if we can very quickly. So this was the reservations which were given in Maharashtra. OBC 19%, SC 13%, ST 7%. Then there was a Vimukti Jati 3%, nomadic tribe 2.5%, special backward class 2%, EWS quota 10%. All of this, and if you also include, ladies and gentlemen, the quota that was given to the Marathas, it had gone up to 62%. Now, the Supreme Court, in fact, if you add the quota that was given, 13 and 12%, that will take the limit way above the 50% mark that the Supreme Court has envisaged. Sanjay K Chadha, you are a constitutional expert, lawyer in this. The Supreme Court did not even entertain the review petition. Is there any legal way this can be taken forward, or is it just a political football being played?
Ankit, two things which are very, very crucial here. One, we have to understand what is this limit and from where this limit has come. Indra Sawhney judgment in the way back in 1991, it has come, wherein Supreme Court, our own Supreme Court has said that we are giving you a limit of 50%. The reservation cannot exceed more than 50%. Thereafter, the court, in a later judgment, which is also relevant here, EWS judgment, last year only it has come, where the court has itself said that EWS community as a separate 10% reservation will be given to them. So this is what is the upper limit given by the 7-bench judgment. So we can't, change it. That is the law of the land. Now comes what is the alternative? How state of Tamil Nadu is giving 68%. Now there is a procedure. Procedure is this, that in case a state assembly passes a law which basically changes this limit, which is above the limit which is given by the Supreme Court, it has to refer this law to the central government for president for the assent, and then only they can have the benefit of Article 31B, which gives it a immunity from the challenge.
Okay.
Which, in no court such law can be challenged. The law will be placed in the 9th schedule. So there is a need of passing of law from state government.
Yes.
Then this law has to come to the central government, and then only the entire process of can be completed.
Shaina NC, just let me pick this up and take this to you. I mean, there is a process which the lawyer has explained. The assembly has to pass a law. It has to be sent to the center. You have the majority. In Lok Sabha, we have seen how the government has been able to get the bills that they wanted to get, to pass in the parliament. Then the question would be, is there a lack of political will? Are these only political, brownie points being scored as far as this entire agitation is concerned?
So when this ESBC, was passed by Prithviraj Chauhan, right when the Congress was there, when Devendra Fadnavis came to power in 2015, we got the government to pass the ESBA Act. Now, we know that this act automatically replaced the ordinance. Then we went to the honorable courts. We know what happened post the Bombay High Court when they stayed this act. And then post that, you had the Gaikwad Committee that came into play in 2017. It was formed and the points were put forth. 2018, when they were finally submitted, the entire report on what the current scenario of the Marathas in the state is, we know that this breakup and the constitutional provision then went to the Honorable Supreme Court. 2019,
Shaina, you can amend this.
We were not.
You have the power. From 2014 till today, there has been a government, there has been the BJP government at the center from 2015 to 2018.
2019, were we in power in Maharashtra?
Ma'am, but you were in power in 2018, weren't you?
1 second.
What was the
Hold on,
102
hold your
amendment?
horses.
What was
We
the 102
still
amendment?
stand by. We still stand by our original stand and the cause which was championed by Devendra Fadnavis.
Okay.
Even then when he was the chief minister up until now. And we are very, very clear that whether it is in cases of employment or it is in case of education, that the Marathas must get
Okay, Madhu Gauriakshi, respond to what Shaina is saying. They are saying we are committed. We are committed. The courts, I'm coming to you, Mr. Pawar. Madhu Gauriakshi, respond to what Shaina NC is saying.
They are committed to fool the people, deceive the people, mislead the people. The distinguished lawyer on the panel has clearly explained the legal process.
Why would we have filed a curative
legal
petition
process.
then, sir?
You are in power at state and center. even state passed the resolution, it is center should act upon and amend the constitution and get it done. You are not sincere. You are not truthful to the people of Maharashtra and Maratha.
Not true. Not true. Why would we have filed a
I'm completely
petition?
out of time. I have to go to Mr. Pawar. He is from the group which is spearheading the agitation. Mr. Pawar, you heard the BJP spokesperson. You heard, in fact, the Congress spokesperson. At this moment, do you have, any sort of faith in the current government that they would be able to resolve this matter?
I just want to tell that they have not prepared for this meeting. There was a 102 amendment which was done, which has taken the rights of the state government to give any kind of reservation when Devendra Fadnavis has given the reservation.
Okay,
and
Mr. Pawar,
this amendment came.
Mr. God, let him complete. Mr. Pawar, go ahead.
Yeah, and then again last year when this 105 amendment came, and then they again reached
Mr. God,
the right
I'm completely out of time. I have to give the last word to Mr. Pawar, who is waiting very, very patiently. Mr. Pawar, go ahead very quickly.
Which gave again the right to the state. So when 102 amendment was there, at that time Devendra Fadnavis, he gave the reservation to the Maratha when state was not authorized to give. That was one of the points on which the reservation was sacked. You have to refer to the 102 amendment which have taken the right of the state government to give reservation to any caste. And Central has taken the right at the time when Marathas were given reservation by the government.
Okay, I'll leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an issue which has been a burning political hot potato in the politics of Maharashtra. We also put forward the history and, of course, the position of the Marathas, the dominant community in the state of Maharashtra. Yes, there is a larger argument about opening the Pandora's box by giving or pleasing communities politically by giving them reservations. Do they actually need it is also a big question. But at least in the state of Maharashtra, all political parties agree they should get reservation. Who is going to act on it is the big question. That's all the time that we have in this edition of Breaking News. News and Updates continue on NDTV. Thank you so much for tuning in.